Good evening, Cambridge. Welcome to the Cambridge Comedy Underground, where every month we bring you the latest, greatest comedy from Boston, Boston's latest, greatest comics. Without further ado, I want to bring your guest host to the stage. You know her, you love her. Put your hands together for Shelley Gruenberg.
I don't know that y'all know me, but you know, that's fine. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah. Yeah? Did you just say yeah to how are you doing? You know, that's fine. I'm doing about the same, actually. My ex-fiance messaged me on Facebook recently. Yeah, that's what I said. Didn't love that, but you gotta respect that confidence, right? To message a woman on Facebook like you're not the reason she changed her phone number. Very fun, very cool. You know, open relationships, very cool. Less cool when they're a surprise, I've noticed. Yeah, it was open on one end, like a cup or bowl. He cheated on me with 4 people. Yeah, I agree, that's too many. That's the Beatles. That's an entourage like from Entourage. That's 1/3 of Jesus Christ's like entire group of friends. Yeah. But, you know, feelings change. Obviously, his feelings changed. He didn't want to marry me. But my feelings changed too, you know? Like, I used to really love him, and now just impressed at that capacity for evil. Yeah, people are always surprised when I tell them I was engaged at 18. And then I tell them I'm from South Carolina, and they immediately stop being surprised. They're like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and when you're from a small town like I am, my hometown has a population of 107. Yeah, it's just me and the rest of the children of the corn. And we like it that way. But when you are from a small town like that, people talk. I mean, people have said some really hurtful stuff. Like, people have said that I slept my way to the top as a supervisor at the 3rd best water park. Oh, y'all are familiar with Wild Water and Wheels. Oh, definitely shouldn't have said the real name of that water park. Oh, and I just realized how much denim I'm wearing. Okay, cool. But yeah, people have said that I slept my way to the top. You know, at Wild Water and Wheels, where you have to scoop a used condom out of the wave pool with your bare hands because they lost the net 3 years ago and still have not replaced it. You know, Wild Water and Wheels. But all I have to say is, if hosing a water slide completely covered in human shit off, hindsight 2020, I could have just turned it on. Is the top. I shouldn't have fucked my manager. But yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was that funny at the time either. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I don't think I'm good at foresight either, because my idea of like making moves for my future is fucking a med student now so he can treat me for my vape-related illness later. You know? But yeah, I want a boyfriend. I know that's a weird transition. I can acknowledge it's weird. But I do, you know? So if anyone on the show tonight likes my set and wants to give me the name and phone number of any of your friends who are not stand-up comedians, I would really appreciate that. That's a mistake you only make. Say it with me, folks. 7 times. But yeah, my mom, I was talking to her because I really want a boyfriend. I've been talking to a lot of people, talked to my best friend about it. And I was like, Gabby, what do you suggest? Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And she said, Shelley, you just have to have patience. Which really pissed me off, right? Because every man I've dated in the last 3 years has been on SSRIs. So I think I have about a 45-minute blowjob worth of patience already. It happens. I don't know what to tell you. Alrighty. So I was talking to my mother about it. And she told me she has this old, like, Southern lady adage. She says, no one's going to buy the cow. Do you know it? If you can get them. That's not. No, it's no one's going to buy the cow if the cow's a whore. You know, we must have different moms. Happens. But yeah, speaking of the South, without further ado, I'm going to bring up y'all's first comic. Are you ready? All right. He is also from South Carolina. Give it up for Rick Harkness.
Thank you, Shelley. How you doing? How's everyone doing in here? We good? I'm always surprised when I meet someone else from South Carolina, another small town, like, oh shit, you graduated high school as well, so. Okay. Another of the 5 that did it, we made it out. No, I'm happy to be here. I asked you guys already how you guys are doing. No? I smoke weed, my bad. No, I'm gonna just tell you guys a few things and then I'm gonna get the fuck off stage if I can. What's the first thing I wanna tell you guys about? I'm the first guy on this show. Officially, I'm starting it off, and I'm the black guy. And it's called Taking the Bullet. Like Crispus Attucks in the Revolution. There's history out here, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad thing. I'm just reliving my relatives and my ancestors, praising them. No, I turned 30 last year. And so I always love when I don't get the applause, because it's not a big deal. It really isn't. I turned another year older. I didn't trip down some stairs or choke on a Lego. It's good. Like, yeah, it's not that hard. No, but I turned 30, and right up until leading to 30, I was freaking out a little bit, because I was like, oh shit, I'm about to be officially an adult. And if you guys see how I dress, adult is not in my repertoire right now. So, and I was just like, okay, I gotta like start looking and sounding more official, adult-like. I gotta pay bills on time. Shit was getting stressful, you know what I'm saying? But then I was like, you know what? Relax, we're good. It's going to happen. I can't escape. I can't run from it. I'm gonna accept this. And I got to a good place. I was like, you know what? We're turning older. Just accept being 30. We'll deal with it. And then my body was like, yo, Rick, we're on the same board. We're gonna let you know that we're also on board with being 30. We're ready for this shit too. We're ready. You're ready. I chipped my tooth. Now, I didn't chip this shit on a jawbreaker like Ed, Edd and Eddy. It wasn't on one of my drunken nights, because if you know me, wow, that I didn't drink. No, I chipped it on a chicken tender. Keyword here, people, is fucking tender. Are we not listening to are we not understanding this? Like, my body was just telling me, yo, Rick, you know all these little lustful dreams and good dreams about turning old with gray hair and finding your little sugar mama or whatever? Get rid of that shit, nah. Old age is not gonna work out for you. If I reach age 40 with both my legs and I'm not in a wheelchair, it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. So it's a win. It's probably gonna go the next year, but we're fine with that. No, I like being older though, cause it's one thing about being older, you don't have to lie no more. I don't like lying no more. I don't like accepting lies. It's one thing. I work in IT. I've been doing it for about 15 years or so. From the bottom of my heart, from everyone else in IT, when you guys bring your computer sets, can we stop with the lies, please? Cut it out. I don't want to hear the whole, I was trying to send my grandson a happy birthday. No, lady, listen. The only place you can get a virus is 2 websites. Trust me, I got both of them bookmarked on my phone. So all I'm trying to tell you is, don't lie to me. Like, safe sex isn't just for the real world. It's for the internet, too. You guys got to know what you're doing. Now, to piggyback on that, because I see a lot of you guys don't want to laugh, a.k.a. don't want to admit the truth. A few years ago, I know it was a few years ago because I woke up in the middle of the night after a great shout to my weed dealer. Anyway, I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw a CNN article. And it said, in 2013 alone, there were 14.7 billion hits on browsers. 14.7. Little simple math question for you. There's only 7 billion of us here. That means we all went on that bitch twice. So don't come to me with these lies, yo. We all at least went twice. That's all I'm saying. That we all went there at least twice. So let's cut it out. So I'm single, if you can't tell. That's the porn talk. I think there's a few reasons. There's definitely a few reasons. I think one of them is, first, I'm a nice guy. Yeah, it's not good to be a nice guy. No, it's not nice. Like, check out our alumni, some of our most famous alumni. Hitler. Give me a second. Just give me. This is not no I don't want to get punched in the face when I get off stage. I'm not pro-Nazi. I'm just saying, let me get through the joke. Before Hitler became famous, he was an artist, like a real artist, like an open-toe sandal, beret wearing, painting on an easel artist, my nigga. And then he met a Jewish girl. Then they broke up. Now this nigga has his own history channel. It's supposed to be history and everything else, but it's just him and aliens all I fucking see. So he got his own TV channel. All I'm saying is being a nice guy, not good. That's all I'm trying to get out of there. So I think that's it for my time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.
Give it up for Rick one more time. Now, Rick was talking about getting older. I can relate. I'm aging like a president. Every time I look in the mirror, my gums are another inch back in my skull. Alrighty, let's keep it moving, you know? Bringing up our next comedian, Austin McCloud.
Hey, keep it going for Shelley, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it going for Shelley, yes. I forgot my belt. Great start. Great thing to do when you're about to be on community television is don't wear a belt. That is A+, I recommend it. We had a long weekend, holiday weekend. Who turned up this weekend? Who drank? Make some noise if you drank this weekend. You went crazy. Couple people, only a few of you. Where are my weed people at? You guys out here, make some noise. Weed people? Okay. All right. I'm getting to know what kind of crowd this is. Pills and needles. Where you guys at? You guys here? Are they sleeping in the bathroom? Wake them up. Let them know. Comedy's happening. It's a fun time. I like drugs. Yeah. I just started doing drugs last year. I looked at my finances. I was like, well, I am not going to buy a house. So I'm just going to start putting things in my body. It's the plan. No needles, no hard drugs. I like shrooms. Has anybody tried shrooms? Make some noise. Yeah, okay. You can yell this out if you've tried shrooms. How do they taste? Like shit. Yes, awful. Good words. Sometimes I open that up to an audience, and there's always one guy that's like, they're actually pretty good. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you get the fuck out of here? We don't need you. You're a serial killer. Get out of here. Shrooms are great. They're one of those drugs that you can like abuse without consequence. You know what I mean? You could just have a day with shrooms. Other drugs, you really can't do that, you know? Like cocaine, he knows. Cocaine, you try to do cocaine and people get all, oh, hey, don't do cocaine. You'll lose your job. You'll disappoint your parents. You'll ruin your life. But shrooms aren't like that, no. Shrooms are like, hey, don't do shrooms. You will cry to the theme song to DuckTales. It's completely different drug. You're like, life is like a hurricane. I had no idea. Oh, I just caught a glimpse of myself on the TV. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking God. Burn it, cut it, cancel it. Don't even put this on the thing. I hate the way I look. No, it's good. Clap if you are from Massachusetts. You didn't move here for school or work. This is where you were born or raised. Yeah. OG Massachusettsites. Yeah, I like it. Hell yeah. Here's what I don't like. I don't like when people come to Massachusetts and they glorify the things that we take for granted here, like the Museum of Science or like Fenway Park or like heroin. It's like, we know. Like, don't you tell us about that. That's our bread and butter, you know? I have an uncle. He comes to visit twice a year. He stays for like a week at a time. Every day that he's here, he needs to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, he doesn't have one where he lives. And at one point, I was like, Uncle, what is it with you and Dunkin' Donuts? You know it's just like a regular coffee shop, right? And he was like, yeah, but listen, it's very Boston in there. Everyone's angry. They're talking fast. They just want their coffee. They're just a bunch of donkeys junkies. He said that. He was like, they're donkeys junkies. They're donkeys junkies. I was like, no. Those are just regular junkies. They love Dunkin' Donuts. They practically work there. That is not powdered sugar on their lip. I give you, they're singing the theme song to DuckTales every single day. Remember that from earlier? Yeah. I'm mixed race. Half black and half white. I'm not as black as the other two comics that are on stage, but I do have a dad, and he is black, and it's a good time. I recommend it. I recommend being mixed race if you ever have the opportunity. It's pretty fun. One guy. There we go. I like it.
Yeah, I might lose you on this, but I don't care. I've got one black parent and one white parent, okay? And 2 months ago was my mom's birthday. And I was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And she was like, let's go out to a country music bar and do karaoke. So right away, you know that she's the white parent. And we go out, this is out in the suburbs where I grew up. And we go out to this bar, we're hanging out, we're having a good time. About an hour into the hang, door flies open, 3 black dudes walk in. No big deal, right? My mom, who's white, leaned over to me and went, hey, some of your people just showed up. Oh my God, lady, that is fucking racist. Keep your voice down. But I couldn't even be mad. I'm half black. When those dudes walked in, I was like, hey, some of my people showed up. All right. This is fun. This is nice. I moved to Brighton. I just moved to Brighton a couple months ago. It's a weird town. I lived outside of the city my whole life. When the Boston that I live in now is so different than the Boston that I grew up with. You know, when I was growing up, I used to drive through Boston and people would be like, hey, stay away from that neighborhood, okay? Stay away from that neighborhood. And now you drive through Boston and people go, hey, there's great vegan food in that neighborhood. You gotta check it out. Weirdest town, you walk down the street at night, you see some guy walking towards you, you're like, oh shit, this guy's gonna recommend a podcast. Oh my God, I hate this city. It sucks. I don't know if I'm supposed to swear this much. Did they say anything? I'm sorry. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go sleep. That's my thing. I love sleeping. I realize I'm canceling important stuff out of my life just to get more sleep. Like I had family visiting a couple weeks ago for the holidays, and my aunt, this bitch, she comes up to me, and you don't know her, she's terrible. She's awful, she's a psycho. She comes up to me, she goes, hey Austin, you wanna go to mass tomorrow? I was like, yeah, right? I was just trying to be nice. I was like, what time's mass, you know? She's like, well, we gotta wake up at 6 so we can leave by 7 and then we'll get there at 8. I was like, you know what? I'll just go to hell, okay? I'll burn forever for a tight 9 hours. You guys have been great. Let me know if you wanna have sex. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Let's hear it one more time for Austin McCloud. Yeah, shrooms are crazy. I watched Look Who's Talking on shrooms and was pro-life for 3 weeks after. It's not even how I feel. That's just something that happened to me. All right, I don't know why the mic is so tiny. But I don't have the technical knowledge to fix it, so I'm just gonna bring up your next comedian. All right, guys, give it up for Zenobia Del Mar. She is recording her debut album Friday night at the Gas. Give it up for her, folks.
Oh, this weird show. What the hell is behind me? We're gonna work this out because I'm a professional. Hi, guys. I'm happy to see you guys. Sometimes I show up to shows and there are white women in pajama bottoms in the parking lot. I'm like, this shit ain't safe. Right? You've been to Fitchburg. I don't know. I'm getting older, because that's what happens when you don't die. Crack the code. Some things are as simple as they've ever been. Like the best part of my day when I was younger was naps. Now the best part of my day is fucking naps. I'm like, yes, right? Naps. I like to keep things simple. My friends were like, you want to hang out? I was like, no. Like, supposed to hang out with them. I made some chicken parm and beat off instead. I woke up 4 hours later and I was like, I am so good at life. I was like, I should be doing this all the time, right? I don't know. You know what I don't like, though? I don't like any food that's labeled artisanal. Artisanal to me just means it's made by a dude who wears tight pants and smells awful. Never shuts the hell up about the keto diet. Fuck you, Kyle. Fuck you. Right? Twice the price and half the flavor. That don't compute with me, right? I like to keep things simple. That's why I always have a sandwich in my purse to make sure no matter what happens, that day can get delicious. It's like, not today, Tuesday, steak and cheese, right? I hate that you get the best subs in the worst neighborhoods, though. What the hell is that shit? I was out in Vegas not too long ago. I had the best sandwich of my life in a place that I never want to go back to again. I was sitting there, I was like, this is delicious. What is in this? He was like, hard times and good mustard. I was like, yeah. It's the way that works, right? I think suffering just flavors food. That's why Southerners and Jews make such good brisket. Right? This is great. I love being back in New England where I could tell smart jokes. I was on the West Coast. I landed on the West Coast and just turned into Judge Judy Tribbiani. It's like, why the fuck are you guys so stupid? Where are the sandwiches? Like, right? I don't understand the West Coast. My friends are still trying to make me jealous. They're like, oh, I heard you guys have snow. It's 70 degrees and sunny here. I was like, we got water. Game, set, and match. Like, I like sunshine and weed just as much as the next guy, but not as much as washing my ass and staying alive. The hell is wrong with you people? It's like, don't mountain lions come out of the hills to eat your pets? Aren't you always on fire? Fuck this shit. I was really done though when I saw the LA River. The LA River, I turned into Joe Pesci. I was like, what river? It's like, I can't even dump a body in there. That's not a freaking river. Like, I'm going back to Boston where there's stuff in the Charles that I don't want to know about, right? Mind your business. Love the East Coast. The East Coast where we're born with that specific Northeast smarts, that psychic ability when you meet somebody and go, one day I'm gonna have to punch you in the face. I can tell. Give me that feeling. Right. I was on the bus on the way over here because I'm a baller. I'm on the bus and this bro gets on the bus with a baby. And nobody seems to have an issue with that the way that I do. I'm like, so you made people before you could make a car payment? It's like, that's all right with you? I don't get it. They're like, you're on the bus. I'm like, oh, I'm on the bus because I'm high and going to Market Basket. You gotta be on the bus because that thing will die if you don't get to Market Basket. Like, what the fuck? Weird things, right? The freaking bus. If I'm not on the bus, I'm on the orange line. Or as I like to call it, hepatitis the ride. I'm just looking around like, I'm gonna have to run my ass through the dishwasher when I get home. For sure. Every guy in the orange line looks like he knows where to get the best and the worst heroin in the city. It's like, staying away from him, right? I was on the West Coast and I was on the train because I'm consistent. And they had a sign, they were like, bringing your bike on the train, here are a few tips. I was like, how about don't? Because it's a bike. Get to bring your car on the plane because you don't fucking feel like driving it now, but you might when you get there. No. This is not idiot travel turducken. You pick something and you follow the hell through. It's wrong. This is fun. I found out my friend has a dope dick. And now I just call him and ask him questions about it. I'm like, where is it? Can it move things? He thought I was talking about a ghost at his house until I was like, go jogging on Tuesday and wear gray sweatpants. He was like, who is this? I was like, don't worry about it. Right? It's way easier to be a creep when you're a woman, right? I don't know. Women have problems that I don't understand sometimes. It's just like going back to the keto diet. It's just like you're on a diet that has a name. I don't trust your judgment. Like, what are we doing? You're on a keto diet. Now your waist is snatched, but your box smells like a turkey sandwich and doesn't work. Like what? Eat a mango and go lay down. Right? A black hippie. I can solve all of my problems with weed, ginger, or laying down. It's brilliant. You're sick, you need some weed, you need some ginger, go lay down. It's fine. Right. What is it? In a few weeks, it's going to be Black History Month. I'm already on that early. I got it covered. Right? A lot of times, black people are like, oh, we got the shortest month. They gave us the shortest month for Black History Month. I'm like, it's not that it's the shortest month. It's that it's the coldest month. They were like, we got to give them a whole month? Well, shit, make sure they can't be outside or barbecue or do any of that shit that they like. February. I'm like, well done, Whitey. Well done, because that is hilarious. I am a negress, but I am also an asshole, so I can appreciate that. That's what New England is. It's just smarts plus lack of fucks, isn't that? Isn't that our formula, right? Some things I can't get with. I had a roommate once. I won't do that anymore. You ever live with somebody whose hobby is misery? They just save it all up and wait for you to get home. I walk in the house. She's like, oh, you got to be careful out there. You got to be careful out there. At night, there was a rape in the crosswalk. The other night, there was a rape in the crosswalk. I was like, what? I was like, there was a rape in the crosswalk? Did the cars drive around the rape detour? Is that how that happened? It was just like, what the hell? Shit, you need to fall asleep so I can steal some more of your weed. Like, you gonna fuck with my cheat, you gonna pay with kush, right? Weed is the best, right? I call weed happy classic. Weed is like somebody being like, hey, would you like to hate all of this a little bit less? And then go get something to eat. I'm like, yeah. Like, you are so good at knowing me, right, guys? I'll leave you with this. I'm a broad, so we've already covered that. I got broad problems, but I got broad benefits, too. It's like every woman in here has been in a little bit of a jam, and then your tits are like, I got this. I'm like, yeah. Call that a tit tagging. Right. Got 2 tits, so if I get in trouble, my box can get away. That's the way that shit works, right, guys? You guys have been fantastic. We're happy when you guys show up and it's not just us being sad at each other as comics. We're like, this is better. This is way better. Guys, have a great night. I'm Zenobia Thunderbar. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Give it up for her one more time. All right, up next is a very funny fella. 3 out of the 5 letters in his first name are vowels. Just an observation. Give it up for Raoul Biron.
That's a very astute observation. You guys, I used to work multiple jobs. Anybody else? Oh no, this is Cambridge. Yeah, nobody. It was nice though, because I was doing 2 jobs. I was working as a preschool teacher, and I was doing security at a music venue, and those are functionally identical jobs. You guys just had the same conversations all day, like, where are your shoes right now? Oh no, do you have to poop? You're shitting right now, aren't you? Yeah. I'm real glad the holiday season's over, right? I feel like that was a bad one. Just projecting onto all of you. What'd you get for Christmas? You're on the spot now. I don't really care that much. Just say something.
Like a winter jacket.
Okay, ask me what I got for Christmas. I got fired. Yeah, no longer a preschool teacher. Surprise. Yeah, I got fired the week of Christmas, one day before my paid vacation was supposed to start. I got fired by a German preschool. Arguably the most Christmassy place on the planet. The whole time I was trying to get the courage to ask for severance, I was just like, where's that fresh baked gingerbread coming from? Those little kids dressed up as snowman. I'm holding back tears. It's bad too. Yeah, you feel bad for me now. I love it. It's bad too because I've been spending money exorbitantly. Don't feel too bad for me. Like I got my shoes cobbled, which in retrospect seems like a real extravagant expense. And all amounted to the sad image as I was leaving the school. I mean, it was cold, I was rolling a cigarette, there were little German children being like, "Auf Wiedersehen." I was like, "No, I will not Wiedersehen you." I was just looking at my shoes and like, will I be able to pay the shoemaker on this Christmas Eve? I was like, shit, my life is so bad, it's Dickensian. Awesome. You guys been to that casino? Out in Everett? Encore? No, that's right. You guys are all gainfully employed Cambridge people. That's fine. None of you did. That was another idea I thought was good before I got fired. So I had a real good day at my other job. My only job. I had a real good day at my only job. Showed up at the casino with $250. I was like, I'll bet a little bit. It's fine. Guess how much money I left that casino with? $0. Ask me what game I played. I lost my wallet at the casino. I didn't get to do this one time. I hate that place. That casino sucks. Because I'll be honest, you can cover it as much Vegas glitz as you want, but it's still Everett, Massachusetts at the end of the day. Like, you can have a carousel made of flowers that moves. You can have Rhode Island's finest prostitutes. But the most popular thing in that casino is still the Dunkin' Donuts, and that's an actual fact. There's a Dunkin' inside that fucking place. I remember I won money there once, and I went to the cage to cash out, and they just gave me $50 in scratch tickets and called me a queer, and I was like, all right, Everett, thank you. I'm starting to think I just don't like holidays in general. Like, I really don't like Halloween, because people always invite you to haunted houses. And I used to work in one, so they scare me. Like, not the things inside the haunted house, but the people they hire to work at haunted houses are fucking terrifying. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's no background check for that job. They just get people who, for most of the year, are genuine menaces to society. And then for 2 months, they pay them $7.25 an hour to just lean into their mental illnesses. Like, there was a guy who showed up who brought his own skin suit. Yeah, we still don't know what animal that's made from, what animals he put together, but they were just excited. They were like, you don't even need a backstory. You just go hang out in the corner. It'll be fine. You shouldn't be afraid of the fake chainsaw in the haunted house. You should be afraid of the man holding it. His name's Herman. He's way too close to your kid right now. Because I used to believe in open borders. Then I went to a quinceañera in a Polish VFW in Lynn, Massachusetts. And it was a magical evening. I saw a father put on high-heeled shoes on his daughter. She became a woman before my eyes. It was amazing. Then I saw a 55-year-old Salvadorian man ask for a lime with his Corona. And that pierogi-eating, pig-faced fuck of a bartender gave him a whole lime. Now I think we need a wall around Poland. Cambridge not too on board with the xenophobic anti-Polish shit. Okay, I get it. I can read the room. It's fine. I love Central Square a lot. You see a lot of strange interactions in Central. They make me happy. Like, on my way here, I saw the world's laziest cat call. A real low-effort street harassment. There's a guy asleep on a bench. And he wakes up and he sees a woman walking past him and he just goes, tits! She's like, fuck you! And he's like, sorry! And just goes back to sleep. All right, thank you guys so much.
He fixed the microphone. Give it up for Raoul Biron one more time. Alrighty, folks, moving it right along. Give it up for Tom Surette.
Thank you, guys. I was seeing this girl recently, and after the first time we slept together, she goes, "This might sound kind of weird, but you kind of remind me of my father." Yeah. I was like, "Is it because I'm leaving?" You ever like look at yourself in the mirror and you just think, "Man, I am tired of looking at you." You know, like not in like a sad or like depressed way, more just like a bored way, you know? Like again, really? Because it's like, I feel like you can't like drastically change the way you look without like people thinking you went kind of crazy, you know? Like if a girl like dyes her hair, everybody's like, "Oh, she must be like going through a breakup or something," you know? And I feel like it's the same thing with guys. Like if I went into work tomorrow with just a mustache, people would be like, "I don't know what's going on with Tom, but I don't think I want him around my kids anymore." You know? Sometimes I can't tell if I have depression or just like a shitty life, you know? Because I feel like if I have like a shitty life, it feels unfair to call it depression, you know? It's like there are people with like real mental illness, and I'm just like, I don't really love when it rains so much, you know? Plus, I feel like I just kind of like bring it on myself. I'm just kind of like, I'll spend an entire day off just smoking weed and jerking off, and then like later that day I'll be like, I think I'm depressed. But then my body's just like, no, dude, I think you're dehydrated. You haven't had an apple in 2.5 years. I don't think you're trying. So I'm just like, oh, you're thirsty? And my body's just like, dude, is this a triple IPA? I don't think you get it. I've been taking like a tolerance break from smoking weed recently, and all that really means is like you stop smoking weed for a little bit, so that like the next time you do, you just get a lot higher. Which I feel like that's like weed is like the only socially acceptable drug you could do that with. You know, like you couldn't be like, "Hey man, I haven't smoked crack in like 2 weeks." They're like, "That's great, dude." And you're like, "Well, I'm really only doing it so that the next time I do, I'll just go fucking nuts." Like, can't really do that. A friend of mine had a kid recently. He just became a father, and it's like he really shouldn't have, but here we are. And it's funny because like he had a gender reveal party for it, because those are like super popular now. But like people are dying at gender reveal parties now, or at least like white trash are dying at gender reveal parties. So not really people, but like some dude put like pink powder in a pipe bomb, and then was like, "Grandma, hold this." And then later on, he's on the news like, I don't know, it's just one of those freak things, I guess. It's like, no, dude, you're the freak thing. Who let you have kids? But yeah, I feel like there's like a lot of people who shouldn't have kids, you know, but people just go for it. Like when I was 19, like a friend of mine had a baby, and she was always just saying like, "This baby is my entire life now." And it's like, yeah, that's because you gave up on the one you had, you know? But yeah, he had a gender reveal party. And shit. It was like he's very progressive, so it's like a non-conventional gender reveal party. And there was like a cake, but when they went to cut into the cake, instead of it being like blue or pink on the inside, it was just like a brown chocolate cake. And my friend was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "I think that means that's not his baby." All right, that's my time. Thank you, guys.
Hey, give it up for Tom Surette one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Tom Surette reminds me of a white serial killer. That shit was scary. Goddamn, that shit was dark, wasn't it? White people, what the fuck? Y'all know how to scare a nigga, don't you? Goddamn. I hate when I deal with comics sometimes and they talk that serial killer shit, and then I gotta give these niggas a ride home. Then the whole ride home, they just talking about killing motherfuckers and Mindhunter on Netflix and shit. It's fucking crazy. White people are killers. Black people are too. Don't be mad, white people. I'm sorry. I want to let y'all know something real quick. I'm fat. You see it. You know it. You see it. I'm fat. I can't hide this shit. I can't hide this shit. The worst thing about being fat is that the stereotype is that when you're fat, you can only fuck other fat people, and that's bullshit. So me and my fat girlfriend decide that we're gonna get freaky for the evening. And she decides that we're gonna put baby oil in each other. A bottle apiece. You kidding me? A bottle of fucking piece, because we're that big. Do you know what it's like when two fat black people are fucking with baby oil covered all over them? We look like two rotisserie chickens from Stop and Shop. Just fighting this shit all the time. This is bad. We tried to use whipped cream, but this fat bitch kept on eating the shit, man. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, babe, where's the whipped cream? She's like, shh. I ate it all. I just wanted to leave that awkward silence right there for you guys. My boy was telling me about some shit or whatever. Like I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the grimy 90s, so crack was still around. Now it's heroin. And my boy, he sells heroin now, and I feel bad for him because I'm like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of that shit, man. It's like, he's like, how am I going to stop selling this shit? The money's too good. I'm like, dude, when something bad happens to you and it hits close to home, it's going to fuck you up. And I told him a story about when I used to sell crack. And I used to sell crack like a motherfucker, man. I was gung-ho with this shit. My boy's mom, one day, I seen her. She was a smoker. She got really bad. And she walked up to me and she said, hey, if you give me a nickel rock right now, I'll suck your dick. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I'm not selling fucking crack no more. My man's mom is out here smoking crack and shit, and she want to suck dick for it. This is disgusting. But before I quit, somebody got to get the dick sucked. She's like, yeah, I get my dick sucked too. That was a bad joke. It was actually a good joke. Just rock with me for a second. I like foreigners that come to Boston, right? Because when they're from Boston, or they feel like they're from Boston, they adopt the Boston culture. And by the Boston culture, I mean just being a fucking asshole. You feel what I'm saying? Foreigners come here or whatever, and they decide that they are so Boston, they're gonna curse you out in a Boston manner. I double parked my car in front of this Brazilian guy, and he looks at me and goes, hey, what the fuck are you doing, you motherfucker? Move your fucking car, you fucking cocksucker. I said, hey man, that shit sounded a little cute. Can you say that again? What the fuck did you say? He said, oh, so you're making fun of my fucking language, you motherfucker? Move your fucking car, you fucking cocksucker. I didn't know how to react. But then I realized he was looking across the street at this guy that was blowing another guy, but he had a yarmulke on, and it was a Jewish guy blowing another guy, so I was like, oh, it makes sense. Jew cocksucker. Me and my girl go through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I'm with her now because I can do things that those skinny dudes that she was dating before couldn't. Like, I fucked the shit out of my girlfriend in ways that she's never been fucked before. I'm sorry if this offends you, but I'm gonna press on. I use this big ass thing right here called a clit rubber. She doesn't know what the fuck is going on. She was like, oh my God, you are grinding fucking the shit out of me. I was like, wait till I put the dick in. Oh, I'm a little drunk, a little inebriated right now. I figured I'd get on my white people shit or whatever and just go to the store and just like, hey, give me the cheapest vodka you got. Then I drank them shits and I've decided to come on stage on TV and tell jokes. That's bad. Who's the next person coming up, if you don't mind? Jim. Oh, okay. So here at Cambridge Comedy Underground, we like to give out lotto spots to our comedians that come to the crowd, and we like to give them a chance, an opportunity for them to shine, for them to feel great, for them to be somebody. Now this next guy's coming to the stage. He brought 30 fucking people to the fucking show tonight. If you're with Jimmy Zhang, put your hands up in the air right now. Oh, none of y'all motherfuckers came. Jimmy, are you serious? Your people ain't even rocking with you, dude. That's fucked up.
I just came by myself.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. Jimmy Zhang and Peter Liu are both Asian men. This is gonna sound fucked up. I just mixed up Peter with Jimmy Zhang. That's fucked up. That's racist, but I'm black, so I can do that shit. This nigga ain't bring nobody. I'm like, anybody come for Jimmy Zhang? They're like, crickets. That's fucked up. But he's a funny comedian. I've seen him around town, and you guys are gonna love him too. Put your hands together right now for my main man, Jimmy Zhang.
God damn it. Should have gone to med school. I can unlock my phone just by looking at it. That's pretty cool. But then I realized, wait a minute. Any Asian dude can unlock my phone just by looking at it. Peter Liu can unlock my phone. I was phone banking for Andrew Yang, but then I got kicked out of it because I kept saying Yang Gang Gang Bang every time. So obviously not their message. So I had to get kicked out. But I did sign up 5 families in Iowa to a gangbang. So I was doing something for my people, you know what I mean? Yeah, Asian men. No? Crazy. Yo, I'm so glad that Kumail Mungiani worked out, got really ripped, and then posted a thirst trap on Twitter, right? All the white girls acting like they missed out. But here's the thing. South Asian men, they've been hot, you know? It's a secret, you know? Think about it. Their people wrote the Kama Sutra. Patel knows how to fuck. Kumail is just the tip of the iceberg. There's more coming. As for me, I'm Chinese. You know, my people built the railroads. But no girl has ever come up to a Chinese man and been like, oh, I'm gonna let you run train on me. Until Andrew Yang. Yang gang gang bang, baby. Yang gang gang bang. Barely worth it. I used to work at a company called Analgesic. My proudest accomplishment working there was when I had to give a company-wide presentation on my personal laptop. And during the middle of the presentation, I had to open up a web browser. And in the URL where it shows where you've been to before, you know, I had to like type in the name of the company.com, right? So like Analgesic is spelled A-N-A-L Gesic, right? And I typed it in, nothing bad popped up. That's my proudest accomplishment. So I completely, wow. The gangbang joke gets no, but this, like, I quit porn, yay. I completely stopped browsing porn on that computer. Yeah. I used to browse Pornhub, right? Shocker, crazy. But now I browse Zillow. You know what I mean? Yeah, instead of getting off to women I can't fuck, I get off to houses I can't afford. All right? You guys like Asian fusion food? Well, I don't. So fuck y'all. I mean, you guys can keep your preferences, I guess. Like, you guys call it Asian fusion food. I call it Asian dystopian food. You know what I mean? Reminds me of the kind of food my grandma would cook if she married a white guy. Yeah, like we just married grandma off for money, and now everything tastes just like how Dave likes it for some reason. I have anxiety from social media. Anyone else get jealous from looking at your friends' activities? Yeah? On Venmo? You know what I mean? Like, you might suspect through Facebook that your friends are hanging out without you. But Venmo has the receipts, you know? Lately, I figured out Instagram, though. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm not very popular on Instagram, but I do manage my parents' dog's Instagram account. She's a German Shepherd. Her name is Apollo. She's really cute. She's like 3 years old. So I post as myself. I get like 5 likes. I post as Apollo, hundreds of likes, easily, right? Women love Apollo. They'll interact with me as in a dog form, basically, right? Like, I could slide into women's DMs as a dog on Instagram. I can bark at women as a dog on Instagram. Can you imagine me trying to bark at women as a person, right? You get blocked so fast. But as a dog, they let you do it. They'll talk to you if you're a cute dog on Instagram. That was a joke. I am not actually barking at women. I'm a good boy, but as a dog on Instagram, I'm a bad bitch. That's my time. Thank you.
Give it up for Jimmy Zhang one more time. Oh, yeah. I fucked up your shit, brother. I'm sorry. I apologize. You know what fucks me up, and I know I hate to say this because this is kind of racist, but I'm black and I can do this. I love seeing Asian men that talk regular. Perfect English. It's dope. I love that shit because it fucks me up when I'm in Chinatown and I'm like, dude, we need some weed. I don't think anybody knows like regular English. Like, let's see if we can get some weed. And then I run into Jimmy Zhang. I'm like, dog, you got some weed? He's like, yeah, my nigga, I got you. This next guy is not gonna say my nigga, but he might turn the tide. So we're gonna keep this this Wu-Tang block going because this is my brother from another mother. He is a motherfucking kung fu master. Not a kung. You do taekwondo? Am I right, Pete? Yeah, whatever. Nigga, I seen your Facebook profile picture, nigga. I know. I seen the fucking yellow belt, nigga. I know you've been eating kale and getting right and ready to fuck shit up in Dorchester. But go to Quincy instead, if you can. All right. If anybody's here for Peter Lou, put your hands up in the air right now one time. Oh, shit. I feel like a DJ in New York. All my people right now, if you're ready for Peter Lou, let's put your hands up in the air. Let's go. All right, coming to the stage right now. Put your hands together for my man, Peter Lou.
This is what happens when you put the one Asian guy after the other Asian guy. I told you, Casey. God, shit. All right, let's get this over with before my parents find me. You know, like most objects in this room, I am made in China. I was born in pristine, pollution-free, and politically non-corrupt China. I have to say that they're listening. And when I was 8, I moved to Australia because my parents wanted to experience racism. And when we found that too mild, we moved here. You know, I'm actually really glad I was exposed to racism at an early age because racism is useful for building things like character, resilience, and railroads. For high school, I moved to New Jersey, where I discovered bagels and Jews. They adopted me as one of their own over our shared interests in frugality and Asian women. You know, speaking of Asian women, my mom is Asian and also a woman. I have a Chinese tiger mom, which means I was raised in an environment that emphasized hard work, academics, and unrealistic expectations. order help me grow, she would compare me to other kids. You know, point out all my flaws. Why can't you get all A's like Victor? Why aren't you national ping pong champion like Philip? Why aren't you tall? I don't know, maybe it has something to do with genetics. The fact that you never fed me milk. All my nutrients came from rice. Guys, I was a super skinny kid in high school, super skinny kid. And, you know, I started lifting just to be able to fit inside t-shirts. That and, you know, I thought it would help you with girls. I wish someone had told me that girls don't really care how big you are. I mean, they do, just not in places lifting helps grow. Your heart. Yeah, tough realization for me. Girls don't care about guys who lift. You know who does care about guys who lift? Other guys who lift. Just a bunch of guys coming up to you like, hey, bro. Nice calves, bro. No crows, no girls, bro. No packs, no sex. Yeah, so I'm single. I'm recently single. And, you know, now that I'm single, I'm trying to make myself more desirable. So I started playing Magic the Gathering. I'm hoping women start gathering. It would be magical. You know, when I was a kid, I thought Magic the Gathering was so much cooler than all the other card games, because when you went to like a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, it would be all kids. But when you went to Magic the Gathering tournament, it would be all adults. Now that I am an adult, I realized I was very wrong. I was playing with one of my friends the other day, and he was bragging about all these tournaments he's won. This tournament, that tournament. I'm like, dude, you know that winning at Magic is still losing at life, right? There's no need to brag. Big Deal's right, I am a martial artist. I practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I started because, well, people found out I play Magic Gathering. In Jiu-Jitsu, you can't strike, but you're allowed to crank necks, smash faces, and choke people. Which is why in Japanese, Jiu-Jitsu means the gentle art. My parents hate the fact that I do Jiu-Jitsu. My mom still calls it gugizu. You know, most parents have kids because they want to like settle down, have a family. My parents had kids because they needed a dishwasher. One of those hybrid models that also functions as a retirement plan. I remember the day in high school when I received my college acceptance letter. I told my parents the good news with excitement, and they responded with the most praise I'd ever received. 还行, which means is okay. Yeah, they get that in the crowd. And then they follow up with 不错,不错, which means not wrong. And then my dad said, you should check with the admissions office. Make sure they did not make a mistake. I recently took a DNA test, found out I was 0% Japanese, and my parents said, 挺好的, which means pretty good. Pretty good. It's an uncommon phrase in the Chinese parenting word bank. There's only 3. 还行, 不错, and 挺好的. Is okay, not wrong, and pretty good. Now, I don't know what the Chinese word for proud is, but I do know 3 ways of saying I'm only mildly ashamed. So for my day job, I work as an engineer where I develop processes to make drugs, or as my parents like to call it, not a doctor. I recently told my dad that I want to be a comedian, and he said, you are going in totally wrong way for life. You have 0 chance. I'm like, cool, Dad, so I'm not allowed to have dreams? No. What you have is fantasy. It is less than dream. Most people who go into show business have an innate ability. It is something in their bones. And you do not have it. I know. I made you. You have weak bones. Weak bones and 0 chance. was like, shit, Dad, 0 chance? I mean, I can understand if it's low, but 0 is just statistically inaccurate. You should know that. You're a mathematician. Or as I like to call it, also not a doctor. You guys have been great. My name is Peter Liu. Have a good night.
God damn, give it up for Peter Liu one more time. Peter, I love the fact that you were talking about your dad, man. He sounds just like Mr. Miyagi. I love that shit. Wax on, wax off. Black people come around, tuck your shit. Tuck your shit. But Peter's a fucking martial artist. I told y'all. Y'all thought I was bullshitting. Y'all thought I was trying to be slick, and I was telling the truth, wasn't I? Wasn't I? That motherfucker tried to put me in a headlock the other day, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, are you guys ready for your next comedian? Yeah. All right. This next comedian, his last name rhymes with shuttle. I asked him, what credits would you like me to bring you up to? He said, hey, just tell the people I'm a cool motherfucker. So, this next comedian come to the stage is a cool motherfucker. Give it up for Tyler Tuttle, ladies and gentlemen.
I just need my ego stroked all the time. Quentin Tarantino recently put out his list of the top 10 films of the last decade. Surprising a lot of people, his number 2 pick, Dunkirk. Surprising absolutely nobody. Quentin Tarantino's number 1 pick for film of the decade, Feisty Foot Fuckers 5. Truly the Empire Strikes Back of the Feisty Foot Fuckers franchise. It's because he likes feet, guys. Have you seen any of his movies? It's great. I have other things. Work crushes. Anyone ever work crush? Ooh, nobody. Me either. Not me. And I can't. I get jealous when I hear about them because I cannot have a work crush. I work at a small office. I have been there for about 9 years. There are only 2 other employees. My grandmother and another woman of comparable age. So you can see how it's hard to have a work crush in that kind of scenario when you've already slept with everyone in the office years ago and have moved on emotionally by now. Don't worry, it's not weird. My mom was adopted, so really, this is just some old lady that can do some crazy tricks when she pops out them teeth. Just kidding. My mom's not adopted. It's all real. All right. Sure. When The Bachelor dates 10 women at once, it's fun and quirky. But when I do it, I'm dramatically overspending on prostitutes. And in the throes of a serious sex addiction. Yes. I am single. I've been single for a very long time. I think that's pretty obvious because I present like a 12-year-old who has recently been bigged. Being single for so long, I've been on the apps for a very long time, but I'm finding recently on the apps, the only women I'm happening to match with are non-monogamous. Now, I don't know what kind of vibe I'm putting out there, but apparently it's one that says, you're gonna need a little something extra once I'm done with you. I don't have anything against non-monogamy. I've been out with plenty of non-monogamous women. It seems like a great way for one hot person to create a stable of emotionally dependent uggos. I can say that I'm the uggo, so it's fair. We can call out our own. Being on the apps has taught me the answers to questions I never would have thought to ask. It's taught me I can't participate in group sex because I have a hard enough time avoiding eye contact when there's only one other person involved. It's taught me what is the proper protocol for a goodbye kiss after eating ass on a first date. The answer, You wait for her to lean in. Because not everyone likes their own brand of asshole. They're like snowflakes. Each one is beautiful and unique, and some are better than others. I got other. In my time on these apps, I've only. Oh, I got a better one. I got a better thing I want to end on. Change my mind. I have a story from a recent encounter on one of these apps. I went home from with a girl from Bumble, and to put it delicately, she was sitting on my face when somehow she manages to fall forward and smack her head right on the headboards, and her nose instantly starts gushing blood. She rolls over in pain and accidentally kicks me in the face while falling off the bed, so now my nose is also gushing blood. Now, if you know me, I do not do well at the sight of blood. So seeing these two bleeding noses, I immediately start throwing up. Of course, chain reaction applies. She sees the vomit. She, of course, also starts throwing up. Now, it's face sitting to bleeding to throwing up. It's been a lot. We start throwing up so hard. I begin to shit. I am throwing up so hard. Again, chain reaction logic. She begins to shit because she's throwing up so gosh dang hard. It's all this commotion happening. Her dog hears it, somehow manages to paw the door open, sees the smorgasbord in front of him, and chows down, eats so fast he chokes to death. She is now weeping. I am now weeping. It's face sitting to bleeding to vomiting to shitting to weeping. And it's the craziest thing about all of it. The craziest thing about all of it is this girl had been in a wheelchair since birth. So, like, shouldn't sitting be the one thing she's good at? All right, well, I think that's funny. Other people have before. You guys don't. Fine. All right, I'll tell just some throwaway bullshit, and then I'll get off the stage. That's the light, so. They go low, we go high. Sounds like inspiring advice when taken as a metaphor. But when taken literally, it's the exact strategy that lost us Vietnam. Because we were in helicopters, and they were in tunnels, and then we lost the war. All right, that's it. That's all I'll do.
Give it up for Tyler Tuttle one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tyler Tuttle one more time. Yeah. Let me put on my white face real quick, my radio voice. But that fucked me up. I'm sorry. Dog shitting, you shitting, there's blood, piss everywhere. What the fuck kind of sex are you having, white man? Ah! Ah! Does that happen in white sex? Does that happen? I just want to know. Is it blood? Is it shit? Is it piss? Is it throw up all at once at one time? How can all holes just explode like that? It's just really confusing me as a black man. I don't understand this shit. But white people, goddamn, this next comedian coming to the stage has also had the same experience. I'm lying. I don't know if she's ever had the same experience, but she's white. You never know. I asked her what she wanted to be brought up to, and she said nothing. So this next comedian needs no introduction.
Thank you. Oh man, I don't know what to say. I don't. No, you know what? I'm going to leave it up for the audience to decide. I won't tell you what I do with my sex life. Okay. All right, I'll get into it. Guys, I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I've been thinking about middle school dances. Do you guys remember these? I do vividly because I would like stand in a huddle with my group of girlfriends, and I was like really afraid to talk to a boy, and I really wanted to like touch a boy at the dance. Do you know what I mean? Not like touch their shoulder. You know what I mean? Like I was like too nervous to even touch them. And when all of these nerves were happening in the background, Soulja Boy was playing. Which I'm gonna remind you guys, in 2008, this song came out. It is about coming onto a girl's back, a dude coming on a girl's back, and then sticking a blanket to it to make her into a superhero. That is what this song was playing at my 8th grade dances. And I've just been thinking about that a lot recently because I know it's sticky, but like super glue sticky, that's a lot. I don't know. I've also been thinking about it a lot recently because my 8th grade teacher told me what that song was about. He explained it to me, and he was like the cool 8th grade teacher. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, that's a pedophile, right? Like, it's funny how when you're a kid, you're like, that's a cool adult. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, damn it, that was a pedophile. Like, it's like, oh, dang it. Dang it. Man, I don't know. Okay. Good transition. Guys, I've got really long legs. I do. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that my torso didn't get the memo. It didn't catch up at all. In fact, my ribs hit my hip bone. There's no space there. What I'm trying to say is I have Victoria's Secret model legs and a Frodo Baggins torso. They just don't match up really well. But again, I'm not complaining, right? Because it's kind of like long legs. That's the type of body wanted by society in women. You know, like I'm not complaining about it. I'm not like, oh, I just have the body everybody wants me to have. Like I'm not complaining about it, but pants are very difficult to find is all I'm trying to say. It's very easy to shorten a pant. Have you ever tried to lengthen a pant? It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. I don't know. Also, society is like, women should have long legs. They're also like, oh, you should also hate your body. So I'm just like doing it, you know? I'm just doing it all, you know? I don't know what else to do for you people. I don't know. One thing though, like long legs, it has created this weird attraction that I have now. It basically has made me really attracted to a good lengthy torso. All that really matters to me. Like you could have dark eyes, thick hair, an accent. Like I don't give a shit. If I see a long torso across the bar, I'm like, it's on. Like, it is on tonight. And that's gotta be some weird, unconscious, primal thing, right? Like, whatever you believe in that made you, whatever made me, I believe it's my parents, but whatever did that, they were like, she cannot be attracted to somebody with long legs and a short torso, because if they mate and have kids, it's just gonna be head, nipples, legs. Like there's gonna be nothing. The belly button is just gonna be a third nipple. It's gonna be an issue. They're just gonna have Mike Wazowski children, just like head, legs. Like I can't do it. I don't know. Oh man, okay. Have you guys, everyone's heard this. You've heard of the phrase like, oh, they have an addictive personality. We've heard that. Someone with an addictive personality. I heard this a lot growing up and it kind of bothered me. I heard it a lot because people in my family are addicts. So my parents were always like, oh my God, like be careful around booze, drugs, all those things. Like be careful because there's addictive personalities in our family, you know? And it just bothers me, right? It bothers me because nobody cares about the good ones. Nobody cares about the good addictions. Like nobody cares that I have to adopt every blind homeless cat I find. Nobody gives a shit. All they care about is that I'm drinking when I'm doing it. They're like, literally, this is a problem. You need to stop. I don't know. It is bothersome, though, because there's a lot of people with addictions that we don't talk about very often. Like, we all have that one friend that cancels plans 30 minutes before you're supposed to meet up with them every single time. I heard someone groan. Yeah. No, it's shitty. Like, all those friends need to get together. Like, Shit Friends Anonymous. Figure it out. I don't know. Or, like, we all have that one roommate that soaks dishes for 2 weeks straight because, like, they're getting the gunk off or whatever. It's like, you're really hurting your families and friends. Get it under control. My favorite one of them all is, have you guys heard of ultra marathons? These are 100-mile races people run without stopping. What are they running from? What are they doing? Like, I'll help you. Like, you don't need to run that far. I don't know. But like I said, it bothers me because my whole life, people are like, you might have an addictive personality, and it turns out it's true. I have an addictive personality, but I just get really into the things that I try. Like I did long distance running for a bit. I did Toastmasters for a while. And I knew it was getting out of control because I accidentally joined a cult. So I was... and there were so many cult signs, guys. So many. Like the first one, you had to pay more at every level. That's like the classic cult sign, right? The second one guy came in one day. He was like, I don't even have to take my antidepressants anymore. I just come here. I was like, it's not how my doctor explained those to work to me. I don't think that's it. The final one is everybody on top was either married or engaged to each other. And when I found that out, I was like, I've got to quit this martial arts studio. Gotta get out of here. Okay, guys, that's my time. You've been so much fun. Thank you. My name is Lily.
Give it up one more time for the comedian with no name. I'm joking. That's Lily Meyer, ladies and gentlemen. Lily Meyer, give it up for her.
What's cool is that we make these tapes for these guys. Hi, Cambridge. Doesn't really matter what we do in between. We're just like.
We're just the odd couple. Who would have ever thought that the accountant and the drug dealer would link together and form a supergroup?
He's the accountant.
That fucked me up. I couldn't do the math on that one. I was just like, oh shit, I'm the accountant. But nah, give it up for Casey McNeal one time. That's my man right there. He's the co-host for Cambridge Comedy Underground. But shout out to Shelley Gruenberg in the production room. She did a great job of starting this thing off. We appreciate you, baby. I see you back there. I see you, shorty. I see you. All right. Also, I want to give a shout out to Peter Levine, the producer of the show. Give it up for Peter. He's back there somewhere eating hummus chips or some shit. I don't know. Whatever healthy people eat. Out of quinoa, buffalo chicken bowl from Sweet Green. I don't know. Whatever the fuck he's eating. But this last comedian coming up is going to really shock you guys. He's going to rock you guys. And he is dope. I've done plenty of shows with him around Boston, and that's pretty much it. We'll let his comedy speak for itself. Are you guys ready? New York, are you ready? Yeah, you. I'm sorry. New York and I'm sorry. For you guys that don't know, I met these lovely people outside, and they're from New York. Give it up for New York one time. I know, not you. She's like, fuck New York. Not me. I'm from Medford. Fuck that. But anyway, you guys ready for the headliner for the evening? Yeah. All right, put your hands together right now for my main man, Chris Post.
Big D, everybody. Keep it going for him. Big D's hard to follow. He's so hard to follow. He's hard to follow, not just because he's hilarious, but he's like this very likable black dude, and I look like a walking hate crime, so thank you for nodding along. Yes, that is accurate. This is awesome. Cool. You're from New York? Yeah. Cool. My dad's from New York, too. You're like, I don't give a shit. Been sitting here for 90 minutes without alcohol. How are you guys having this much fun without booze, by the way? Like, I did a show at a coffee shop one time. I almost slit my throat after. Like, this is usually not fun without booze, but you guys are awesome, seriously. Yeah, my dad's from New York, too, so because my dad's from New York, he's a Yankee fan, and sometimes I'll do this thing where I project my relationship with my dad onto other Yankee fans. Like, one time a Yankee fan came up to me and was like, hey, man, fuck the Red Sox. I was like, hey man, at least we pay child support. I'm glad you like that joke. My mother doesn't, so this is cool. People out and about, date night, yeah. You two aren't even together, are you? Oh, you are together? I don't know. I'm not good with body language, you know. Like, my family doesn't even hug each other, so yeah. But I don't know. If I wasn't here, I'd be just hanging out with my girlfriend, probably at home. We lived together, and it's weird. Before we lived together, she had her own place, and I lived with 2 other dudes. So like the first time I went over to her place, I realized that people who live alone have different problems than people with roommates. Because the first time I went to her place, she goes, Chris, I'm sorry about this cat fur on my couch. It's disgusting. I'm sorry about this cat fur. And I looked at her. I was like, my roommate shaves his pubes in the sink. She goes, your roommate told you that? I was like, I wish. Next time, use the kitchen, man. Like, God. So my roommate comes from a good family. My girlfriend does. Excuse me. I guess she is my roommate. Shit. Semantics. That's what I'm gonna do. Go home tonight and be like, "Hey, roomie." She's gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here." But she comes from a good family. I don't. You guys are like, we already know that. Met you 2 minutes ago, or like. So the first night we moved in together, she goes, Chris, let's do dinner the way my family does dinner, because she's from a good family. So that night for dinner, we cooked together, we ate with the TV off, and we talked about our day. And it was lovely. And she goes, Chris, tomorrow night for dinner, let's do dinner like your family does dinner. I was like, cool. So the next night for dinner, I just didn't show up. Later on, I called drunk from a bar. I was like, who wants ice cream? It's melted. All right, you're from broken homes? All right. Let's bond. Going on some group therapy. I'm so broke. I don't know. Yeah, I like to drink, but I'm trying to chill out on the drinking. Like, sometimes I drink too much, and I just get out of hand. Like, the other night I drank so much, I said hi to the other guy in my Uber pool. I was like, I'm out of control. Made eye contact and everything. Like, what's wrong with me? But, I don't know. I still love drinking. Just the hangovers get so bad, you know, and I was thinking about that because last week I had to work on my resume when I was hungover. Anyone ever do that? It's hard describing my strengths when I'm at my weakest, right? Because I'm like trying to, you know, think of all the good qualities that would make me a good job candidate. And I was like, I can multitask, you know, because I can cry while I vomit, right? I can sweat while I eat. So in addition to that, I got insomnia. Anyone else? Cool. Can I have some Ambien? I'm plumb out. I have insomnia, and my best friend has insomnia, so you know it's good to have things to bond over. And the other day we were trying to like one up each other whose insomnia was worse. And I was like, "Hey man, my insomnia is so bad I can stay up on Ambien. You think you're better than me, motherfucker?" And then I realized my friend is just me in the mirror. It's hard to tell through broken glass. I can tell it's me, you know, or what's left of me. You know. So I'm thinking about getting a new tattoo, but I'm starting to think I have too many. Or as my mom says, you made your point. She's a real peach. I always hate the tattoo discussion because people always want to discuss what tattoos represent. Because most people are like, my tattoos represent faith or hope. People are like, what do your tattoos represent? And I'm like, Coke in my 20s. Yes, that was Big D in the back saying, I feel ya, yeah. Well, if I relapse, I know who to call. But But I don't know. I'm glad I quit doing coke. I'm glad I quit doing coke before I got Instagram. I think that's what I'm most happy about, because those would be some dark selfies, right? And I'd just be the guy using the boomerang Insta stories, snorting back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. All right, some of you don't like to party. Also, I need to stop using the expression, do you like to party? Because I said that to a woman and her boyfriend one time, and I was like, oh, they think I'm looking for a third. It's like, it's Cambridge, you guys are progressive, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, cool, awesome. I'm not drunk enough to fuck you, but yeah. But yeah. It's only 8:30, you know, but yeah, or 8:45, but yeah, all right. I don't know, but yeah, glad I quit doing blow. Thing is, you know, like when you run out of blow, like then your dignity goes really bad, like really low, like even lower. Like, yeah, Big D, you want to just co-host this thing? We'll talk about like bad coke story. We're just gonna take a 2-man show on the road where we just try and one-up each other, just like, oh, you know, you ever been so fucked up you can't remember the chemicals to freebase, you know? It's like I'm out of baking soda, fuck. But worst thing I ever did was, anyone ever smoked meth? Yeah. I'm not asking for like, you know, social reasons. Yeah, obviously you did, but yeah. But it's not as romantic as they made it on Breaking Bad either. You know, it's like, because like I was leaving my dealer's house one time, and there was a guy waiting outside for me, and he just pulls out a knife, and he's like, "Give me your money." You know, like that wasn't implied, right? Like he wasn't gonna pull out a knife and be like, "Answer this riddle." But the meth house was kind of dicey. You know, smoking meth is a very complicated process, okay? It's like not like, you know, packing a bowl of weed. You have to take these pliers and drop a rock of meth into like this, you know, pipe and everything. And my friends were like, suck as hard as you possibly can. So I sucked as hard as I could. And I sucked so hard that I actually drooled in the pipe and extinguished the rock of meth. And this dude named Mikey from Everett with 3 missing teeth, he just looks at me and he goes, "Can't you do anything right?" I was like, flashback to Little League. You guys have been a lot of fun. I'm going to go back to Big D.
Give it up for my main man, Chris Post. Chris, come back here, man. Come back
All
here,
you
brother.
comics, come up here.
All the comics that are on the show, please come up
We
real
love
quick.
you guys so much. Give him another hand.
Jimmy Zhang, what's up, brother? Yeah, Peter Lou. Yeah, Austin McCloud, Shelley Gruenberg. Oh my God, the suicidal killer. Yeah, Lily Meyer,
Tuttle, Rick
Harkness,
and Zenobia.
Yeah.
Follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on Google. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us. Just don't talk to us.
Yeah,
Come see us next month and every month.
Make sure you follow the Cambridge Comedy Underground Facebook page. Like it. I would say subscribe, but I can't remember if it's on YouTube or Vimeo. So check either one.
Tonight, HD version will be up in a couple days as well. We don't care where you go, but you can't stay here. We love you. Go home.
Have a good one. Thank you so much, guys.